also look at every review that's that's been written around. I don't know, now of course it will be impossible for you to, because there are millions of them, and if you include social media too, and that you actually read what people have said about your performance. Is that true?
Yes.
Each one?
As many as I can.
As many as you can.
Yeah. When I started my career, I used to actually put up, I had a few of yours up there as well, on my bathroom mirror, and I used to highlight the portions that, the critiques had not liked about me personally.
Right.
And it was a kind of visual representation for me that from the first film to the latest film, the highlighted section should reduce. So that was kind of like a thing of self-improvement. So, okay, they didn't like this. Next film, try and implement that to improve upon that. So I used to do that.
Has there ever been a point where a reviewer is sitting right next to you and read a review to your face?
Not that I can remember.
Okay, we're going to do that right now.
Okay. Is it your review?
Yeah.
One of yours, right?
Yes.
This should be fun.
So background, okay, it's obviously a very, very short excerpt, but the one that relates to you. Background score is an indoor concert. Artwork aims at advertising photography alone. Farhan Akhtar's written the full dialogue. His company's produced the picture. Their recent credits include Luck by Chance, Honeymoon Travels Private Limited, Rock On, Karthik Calling Karthik. Which is sad, given no actor in Bollywood believes in the auteur theory more than Abhishek Bachchan does. If you've noticed, practically all his colossal creative failures, let alone their box office response, seem to have been directed by filmmakers most would otherwise trust. Shad Ali's Jhoom Barabar Jhoom, after Bunty or Bubbly, that we just discussed. Ashutosh Gowarikar's Khele Hum Ji Jaan Se, after Jodha Akbar. Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra's Delhi 6, after Rang De Basanti. There's got to be a theory behind the series. Which film is this?
Game.
Game, that's 2011.
The only correction is I actually did Khele Hum Ji Jaan Se after What's Your Rashi? That Ashu had made.
Well, fair enough. But you would still trust him.
Research, Mayank, research.
And this is by Abhinay Deo, right? Who thereafter made Delhi Belly.
He actually
so it's
made
not
Delhi
even
Belly
past
before.
film, but it's even the film after.
Yeah, he actually made it before.
Explain
He
this
had
to me.
shot it before, yeah.
Do you think you've been done in by directors? Or do you trust or have you trusted directors far too much, given their past record?
No, it's got nothing to do with, I've never judged them on their past record. It's just, I'm a complete director's actor.
Okay.
If I have a disagreement about how a director is seeing a particular scene, my approach is, let me try and convince them. If they're not convinced, then I have to wholeheartedly submit to what their vision is, whether I agree in it or not. Yeah, but...
Don't they all? Is that what you're saying?
You know, sometimes it's hard to understand why, stuff. I mean, when I see a movie like Delhi 6, Rakesh was meant to make my first film, actually. We wrote a film together called Samjhauta Express, when we both were looking for a job and both frustrated that we weren't getting one. I've known him since then. And I thought Delhi 6 was a wonderful film. Yeah, but I
mean,
don't
that
know.
of course is subjective, good and bad. I mean more in terms of, because there is no way to quantify these things.
Yeah.
I'm presuming box office success is what we can go by.
No, absolutely, and that's the only thing you should go by. I mean, we work in cinema. It's a commercial art.
Exactly.
So let's be very honest. The only barometer is box office. But yeah, I mean, it's sad, but...
Why do you think Delhi 6 did not reach the same level of audience reception as Rang De Basanti did?
I think today, if I look back, there was no hero in Delhi 6. I think in storytelling, it's very important to have a hero, a protagonist and an antagonist. There were, I think, too many protagonists, so we didn't know who to get behind. I mean, like we were discussing Bunty or Bubbly. There's this beautiful scene in Bunty or Bubbly where they're sitting by a brook and suddenly Bubbly starts crying. And Bunty asks her, why are you crying? And she turns around and very innocently says that I'm missing my home. And they go and actually they call their parents. And she calls and speaks to her parents and says, I'm okay. And then she turns to him and says, now your turn. And he says, no, nobody is missing me or thinking of me at home. And you cut to a shot of Bunty's very critical father, which was played by Mr. Raj Babbar, sitting under a contraption that Bunty had invented, a shower, and missing his son. At that point in time, what happens is suddenly your heart goes out to them, and you're like, oh, I want these kids to do well.
Right.
I'm get behind them.
Right.
You emotionally invest in them. Right. You root for them. I feel maybe in Delhi 6, there were too many people to root for, so who do you root for? I think that could have gone wrong with Delhi 6.
What about game? Like Boman Irani as Thai Prime Minister?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah, it's fine. Why? They have a lot of Indian expats in. What went wrong with game? I'm just remembering the film.
I guess that's what went wrong.
No. Game went through a lot of casting changes also. And I think we started laying too much emphasis. It was essentially a revenge story. It was the revenge of my character that he was taking for the murder of the love of his life, which was played by Sarah. From that, it became a murder mystery. To then, I think we just kind of lost the focus of the film. Had it remained just the story of a lover taking revenge for the murder of his beloved, I think it would have had a lot more focus. Somewhere, I think we kind of diluted the focus. Then there was the character of the Interpol agent played by Kangana, then the other characters and how they linked up. So I think somewhere we kind of compromised the soul of the film.
Right. No, the reason why I'm asking these questions, Abhishek, is because there's something that you said which was part of your self-introspection, is about how you've got to be selfish, and while you've been extremely loyal throughout in your career, being selfish is very important because that's how people become successful. Yep. Was it in respect to certain career choices you made? Because a lot of them could have come from the fact that those were your friends, and all your friends are from the film industry.
Yep, absolutely. I think one of the things I learned from the younger generation, I mean like the 15 to 25-year-olds, is there's an immense sense of professionalism and confidence in what they do. It doesn't matter who's standing in front of them. I grew up in a generation, and because maybe I'm from the film industry, there's this whole element of respect, and there's this whole element,
junior,
all that. They're okay with that, but once the camera comes on, all bets are off. They're going to come at you in front of the camera in the scene and give it their whole. Whereas I know in the past, out of respect, okay, you want facing, take facing. I used to do that kind of stuff. Somewhere as an actor or in any profession, and I mean this in the best possible way, I don't mean this negatively, be selfish. Be selfish for yourself, for your craft, for your own people. In that sense, be selfish, because you need to be a bit selfish to be able to give your best. If you're not convinced in your own head that you're not going to be able to give your best, you're not going to give your best there in turn. You're doing injustice to the venture. There's absolutely nothing wrong. I actually felt previously that if I disagreed with somebody, I wouldn't tell them. No, I don't want to be that kind of guy. I don't want to come across as arrogant. I don't want to give people an opportunity to say, oh, he's just flexing his muscles, so to speak. Or on some level, it was uncool to just disagree. That was a big problem.
Or were you overcompensating for being a Bachchan?
I guess so.
Right.
I mean, that was one of the reasons. I never wanted anybody to think that, oh, he's Mr. and Mrs. Bachchan's son, so he's saying this, so we're listening to him, because I never wanted that. I was very conscious of that, from my behavior to everything. I don't think I'd ever compromise my parents and their dignity even today. But today, if I disagreed with something, I've understood how to put my point across in a better way. Instead of, for me, it was like, okay, if they're not going to get it, I'm just, whatever, man, let's just do it. But sometimes, and I learned this from Amir, he told me that disagreement is very important on a film set, because it leads to an even greater outcome.